Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Beast Alliance, Rise of the Beasts, Wheeljack and Rhinox figures. So in a second I'm going to unbox these guys, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a quick look at them in both of their modes and of course see how they can be used, not to combine, but as you can see Rhinox can be used as a target master or a weapon, shall we say, for Wheeljack. We're also going to have a quick look and see how these figures compare to some of the mainline figures, because of course we haven't got a Studio Series version of him yet. Some of the other figures, I suppose, which are in the same sort of price point, and indeed of course see how they look and fare against some of the main Studio Series figures as well. So you'll get to see a full range and scope of, I suppose, the price point at which you're paying. So right, I actually purchased this from the Entertainer in the UK, if anybody wants to know. The packaging is pretty great, to be honest, even though that looks like Fillmore now from Cars to me. There is Wheeljack in, I suppose that's his, of course, his on-screen appearance. There of course is the Rise of the Beasts logo, and then on the back we've got the image of him in his alternate mode, and indeed Rhinox, which is really strange because, to be honest, Rhinox was huge in the movie, whereas now he's tiny and he's shrunk right down to Wheeljack's gun. There's another shot of Wheeljack on the side, and indeed another one there. Right, what I'm going to do then now is just quickly separate them from there and we can have a proper look at them. So here they both are then separated from the packaging. Let's have a look at, funny enough, we'll have a little look at Rhinox first, and it's not too bad. You know, you've got to remember the price point at which these figures are in fact sold at, but there's quite a bit of moulding detail there on the sides of the figure, and of course they've coloured in the horns as well. There is obviously a bit of articulation in the legs if you wanted to just, I suppose, yeah, have a play with him, to be honest. The transformation scheme is a little bit interesting, shall we say. You're going to grab him by his butt, you can open it out like so to reveal the gun. It gets a little bit tight there on that hinge. Fold this out, fold that back over on itself, and then indeed it's just a case. This won't go all the way down, I don't believe. No, I don't think that was supposed to happen, but if it does, there you are. You can see it is very simple just to reattach that. Now it doesn't look like, I'm pretty sure it isn't, unless it's just because it's a brand new toy. Let's have a look if it'll fit in. It'll still go in, so no, it won't. There you go, that's how you know. And again, I'm keeping it rolling just in case that happens to you, because then you'll know that it's not too detrimental and you can in fact very simply fix it like so. There we go. So they close over, then you're just going to turn the feet around, and that's pretty much, to be honest. If you have a look at the image at the back, the product image, it doesn't look like it's fully closed anyway. So there is his target master weapon sort of gun. This sort of figure itself is super basic. It is of course super hollow. There's huge ball and socket joints though, so you've got a bit of articulation on the feet, on the knees, on the hips. You've got a waist swivel, you've got shoulder ball and socket, bicep ball and socket, and the head itself will move around as well. We'll do a quick lot of comparisons in a second. Let's have a go at transforming him. Now, I've got to confess, I've had one quick go with this, and the one problem that I've got is because it's so hollow and because it's a little bit tedious. I mean, look, it really is hollow. So if you're looking to buy this for someone else, let me just show you how to transform it, or if you think, you know, the person you're going to be able to buy this for will be able to do it. Let's hope this gives you an idea. So close the legs together, fold the feet up, and then what we're going to do, you see, they just keep popping apart. This is the issue that I had. I've only done this once. It could get a lot easier the more and more you do transform it. Let's rotate that at the waist, and you can see that we're going to join these tabs into there. Oh, let's just bring this up like so. And as I say, this is, I was going to do the transformation process separately because, not that it's difficult, it's just, as I say, fiddly. Right, there's the back there. Let's take the arms, we're going to fold these down, and what we've got there is we've got huge cutouts in there, so we need to fold up the side of the vehicle, which is like that, and then that tab is going to fit in there and that tab is going to fit in there. So let's bring this under like so. Just as the problem, this is what you get as soon as you move one, the other moves. So let's tab that in, and then of course hopefully we can tab that in without it coming apart too much, and then bring this, don't worry about the front coming down just yet. Let's leave this part up. So there is one side. It just keeps popping apart, which if I was a child, in which, you know, some people could argue that perhaps I am, but if I was a child, this, as you can see, would really frustrate me, and that's why I've kept this in. That's why I'm showing you, because again, as I said, I'm going to start doing quite a few reviews of these Rise of the Beasts toys aimed at younger viewers, purely because it is coming up to Christmas, and you know, a lot of adults are going to be stuck doing exactly what I'm doing now, or making excuse me, the decision if they want to purchase them for, as I say, said relatives or etc. Now again, let's just bring this down, tab that in, tab this in. I've had a couple of goes and there's no real, as I say, it does give it a different, slightly different order in the instructions, but once again you can see that everything is just popping out. It's too hollow unless it takes a lot of time to loosen up, due to the fact that it has been played with a lot. This has only been taken out of the box, and this is, I think, the third time, if I'm being honest, that I'm transforming him. Let's see if I can at least get it looking in some sort of semblance. See what I mean? And I don't know, as I say, this would definitely drive my son absolutely insane. Now, don't get me wrong, I could also have a bad copy. What I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to disconnect it and straighten it up. And I didn't really want this to take anywhere near as long as it is. But rather than me sort of saying it took me 10 minutes to transform him, A, you might not believe me, and B, again, you wouldn't see it firsthand. And as I say, so hopefully this will give you a completely non-biased and true true review of this particular figure. There we go. Now we can bring the front over and indeed clip that into position. Once again, that's just popped out. I'm going to just pretend, which I know is awful, that it has fully clipped in. That is the alternate mode. It is okay. It's obviously not the best. That it could have been perhaps engineered slightly better, but I think obviously with the budget of the mold that they've got, it's just a little bit temperamental. It's quite big though, you know, it's a little bit bigger than the JP12 in the length, but of course nowhere near as big as some of your standard deluxe figures. But what I think they're missing a trick with this, obviously, is the targetmaster gun, which we're going to go back to robot in a second. There's nowhere to really put it. You could have thought that they would have had some attachments that you could perhaps put him on, either on the roof. It looks like maybe you could attach him to the side because you've got a 5mm port, but it's not really gonna work. So they've missed a bit of a trick there, I think, in honesty. Right, let's separate him and let's get him back into robot mode just so we can see how he looks as a target master, and indeed then bring in a few other figures just to give you an idea of how big he is. Now I'm expecting all of this to pretty much pop apart for me because I'm not having any luck, and you've seen already how temperamental it really is. It's such a shame because the figure itself is a lot of fun. I would imagine though that as I say, most people who are going to be getting this will perhaps, because it's really awkward, will just be keeping him excuse me, I know you need to separate this and it's not separating for me. Oh my days, see what I mean? It is really difficult, and that's exact, I know I've said it twice, but oh, there you go. That's come off completely. Let's just click that back in over there and fold that back up. So you got loads of 5mm ports there, so you could attach a load of figures and weapons, etc. Fold the forearms over, rotate the shoulder up, bring this round. This is by far the fiddliest one that I've had to review. Maybe they've just tried to be too clever. Some of the other figures, you know, the Optimus Primal with I think it was, I can't think of the name of the character with him, but that was fine. This one's perhaps just that little bit too much. Let's see what this looks like in his hands though, because that's the all important. As I suspected, he can't, we can just about, and you can position him with it. So there you go. So that's the most important thing. You can actually do that. Here is one of the cheaper Bumblebee figures that I've done a video review on already, which is much smaller and scales pretty well, to be honest. There is the actual Studio Series Bumblebee. There is the Studio Series Optimus Prime. So he scales reasonably well with them. And funnily enough, here is the mainline wheeljack. So he's about the same height, just obviously nowhere near as articulate, nowhere near as detailed. He's quite a little bit, well, quite a bit bigger than Core Class. Where's RC just gone? I've just lost RC, so I'm going to have to bring up Freezer. Oh no, there she is. So she does scale okay with him. And there is Prime. Oh, who doesn't want to stand up? Apologies in advance, this video has been a shambles, but that's mainly due to the fact that he would not transform, and I wanted it to be as honest as possible, because like I said, I had to go at it off camera and it took me just as long, so I wanted you to see that. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Let me know what you think in the comments, and again, I hope this helps you with your decision on whether you're going to be purchasing them for anybody in the near future. Thanks for watching, take care.